Don't get it mistaken. This is for sure a training camp video, day 4 of the Eagles in training camp and seeing how they're progressing. But first, of course, we got to handle some business. And you're like, what business do you have with Jerry Jones? Well, he won't stop running his fat, old mouth. What's up, it's your boy Trying to come back at you with another analysis / news video that teach you not that's real name. And first up, like I said, the Cowboys, or should I say the Cowgirls, are finna get served up. Cowboys, Jerry Jones says the Eagles need to be on their game because we are. Sir, have you not existed? Have you not been living and breathing for the past calendar year? Where were the Cowboys? Last we saw them, they were pathetically exiting the playoffs in the divisional round, the second round, against the San Francisco 49ers, who we ousted and went on to go on to the Super Bowl. But in what fashion did y'all go out? Down bad and sad. Man, seeing Zeke take snaps at center when you have, it wasn't Travis Frederick, it was Justin or whatever, Bidass, whatever his name is. No, it was 220 to 30 pound Dak taking a snap at center, immediately getting bowled over, allowing pressure to get allowing Al Shazier to get pressure on Dak Prescott, causing him to throw the ball prematurely to a Turpin, receiver Turpin, who had to catch it, jump for it, and he got immediately spear tackled in that end of the game. That was pathetic, man. It was hard for me to even watch, even with a rival that I don't like. But in what way do are you guys on the next level? You got guys holding out, distractions in camp. You got an incident we'll get to in a second that shows the lack of respect for your quarterback, the head honcho leader on the field of your team. He's promising to get his interceptions down to 10, which that's not impossible for him to do at a stage of his career. And your defense, I'll give it to you. Your defense has some talent, but you guys are skating on thin ice. You're away from having to call on free agents or someone to rescue your roster when you don't have depth at key positions. So everything is a little shaky for you guys. You're gonna make. I'll tell you, you can make the playoffs. You'll do no better than a first round exit. So I mean, yeah, I'm just really racking my brain trying to think that, okay, roster, get on your level. No, we're above that. Quarterback play, get on your level. No, we're above that. Impactful receivers and running backs and tight end, offense, we're above that. Defense, sacks, just overall impact, we're above that. On what level is Dallas supposedly above us or where we need to be? Jerry Jones, you're 70, 80, 90, I don't know, you're a vampire. Take your medicine, get your mental in check before you try to come and check us. Because, okay, let's just get to it now. Training camp, Dak was rolling out, and he was throwing the ball, or slated to throw the ball. He kept it on a quarterback keeper, not designed, and went out of bounds. Trayvon Diggs comes up to him and straight out, flat out with, you can't filter this, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He called him a female dog. Meow. No, not man. Not even. See, he called him a. Who on the Eagles roster is gonna even fix their fucking mouth to even dare utter those words to Jalen Hurts? Not a nan-body. Nobody. And they'll get checked immediately if they did by the O-line. The guy that was standing there, I think he was a running back, number 28, I think, just standing there with his hands on his hips like he couldn't do shit. That's a valid reason to call, just cause a fight, start a fight. Someone disrespects your quarterback, I don't give a who they are. You challenge them, call them out on that bullshit. But no, it's all peace and love there in Oxnard in California. It couldn't be an Eagles practice. Somebody's gonna intervene. So I'm like, no respect from. He gets no respect from his teammates. It shows you the position that Dak is in and how he's truly valued, how he's really seen by his peers. Anyways, let's get into the Eagles news, man. All right, Jalen Hurts training camp practice stats, man. This guy was killing it today. So like I always do, we'll go over like pretty much the gist of what happened, and then maybe hit on a thing or two that we noticed. But the stats for the day, man. He like all the drills included because they don't. A lot of writers don't include one-on-ones. He did 17 and 24 for 3 touchdowns, man. He was just balling. Yeah, he hasn't yet thrown the interception yet, and he was just pinpoint accuracy on. I mean, like, yeah, it's hitting guys in stride, just dropping balls in there, like it just everything you want to see. But let's get into the offensive and defensive MVP for the day. So, Devonta Smith was killing it, man. They said he's on the verge of stardom. And Josh Sweat was just being steady and getting lots of pressure, man, showing that he shouldn't be the lost man in this shuffle out there on the edge or on his defensive front, man. He's legit. He's gotten better each and every season. Recently, in the past 3 years, I think it was like 7 sacks, 11 sacks. And, yeah, he might go on to, I mean, like, what's the ceiling now? An all-pro season? We'll see. But we'll get into that a little bit later. But, man, he shown a lot. Coming into the league as a 4th-round pick, believed to only be a rotational guy. He's out there starting, the highlights of last season when he picked Dak Prescott off, shoved him off, get off me, little boy, and when had a pick 6, rushed into the end zone. He had a 4.53 speed, and it really showed on that play. But anyways, offensive game by Devonta Smith. Yeah, man, he's a technician in practice, and like, despite his size, he really jumps out at you. They had a Twitter video that has 2 million views where he's doing a ladder drill, and he's just and he's just surgical, man. He just looks so pristine. He does look skinny, lanky, but the man has not yet mixed the game, I believe, and he just goes out there and does work. Despite his slight frame, he comes down with it with no shame. All right, so he got on the first play of practice, he got found for 6 in red zone touchdowns, and yeah, you're gonna see a lot of that. And he got in excellent with Darius Slay on this play. He got great separation. So Hurts fired what would have been a 50-50 ball Smith's way, and Darius Slay had elite coverage, just sticky all over him. Pause. And he's a technician, proficient in a real game action and in practice setting. So no matter the setting, he brings it. And that it looked to be an errant throw. The coverage was tight, airtight, and Smith created separation at the very last moment and then snagged the ball in. Like if I was been there, I'd have been like, ooh, one of those plays that just gets you on your toes and get you excited, for the game. I'd say there were deep out routes and textbook pitches and catches, and man, he was just working it, bro. So he's slight movements. So throughout his route, just little, shoulder nods and little leans and stuff. It's just the attention is in the detail. The devil's in the details, and man, he might as well be Satan. I'm just saying, man. I'm just calling it as it is. And Zach Ertz said he was leading that. He just would have little stems. The stems were just excellent. Flowers were just sprouting. We talked about the ladder drill. Man, just lovely. Just getting it. Defensive game ball, Josh Sweat, man. We got Fletcher Cox. He's a former All-Pro. Brandon Graham, Pro Bowler, who made the play in the Super Bowl. The Georgia Younglings. Thinking about Star Wars. Nolan Smith, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis. Second-year player, first year. But they all look to be impactful on some level. Rotational but could be a starter. But, they're all going to play a key role in this defensive front. And, he's 6'5", 265, but, man, he looks imposing. He's collapsing the pocket consistently. And on the second-string offense, but, they're playing, just trying to decide, it says regardless of station, regardless of, where guys have been, whether they're, stalwarts or whether they're just guys looking to make the roster. First, second, third, guys are going to rotate. And yeah, he was talking about 0 sacks, 4 sacks, 6, 7.5, and then 11. He couldn't, make that jump. And he's been working hard. He's, working on the little things, trying to, be great. And he missed, I think, the Giants game, the last game. And did he miss the first? I mean, no, he didn't. He missed the first playoff game. He would have had first playoff game in the first round. He would have missed that one. That was like I think a knee injury, but he had to get it maybe drained or something like that. Similar to the playoff game with the Bucks, but this time he showed up in the divisional round. We dusted off the Giants expertly. And yeah, man, he just been getting better each and every season. And I don't think we've seen his plateau. He still has things to add. He's still hungry. So that's the theme, man. And I know it's common, and every team says that, especially young guys. But he really is after. You saw like one of the articles going into his mind, his psychosis. You say nobody's saying he plays football. To some extent, you're all nuts. Love it though. But yeah, he broke down like what things he wants to get better at, the things that he can work on, and him being the elder statesman in the room now, and the knowledge that he has to pass on to the young guys. And man, just a net positive. Anyways, let's get into the main thing. All right, Eagles 2023 training camp practice notes, day 4. Jalen Hurts is kind of killing it out there. Kind of killing it, man. He's had his, second very good practice. This one, I would say, was great. Best day on Tuesday was in what has already been an already very good cut, and we were still in early. Day 1, he was solid. Day 2, he was good. Then very good. Then great. I mean, I think he's just on it, And it's funny, we'll get into that later, something about, his consistency. But last year and this year, diametrically opposed to each other because he's already there. And he's already proved it with, his play last year, ending up in a Super Bowl appearance. But he's picking up, quite literally, right where he left off. All right, so day 4 of Eagles training camp is in the books, and it was the first padded practice of the summer. So got those shells on, and we're going. It was a very busy practice, so let's get right to the notes. The Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown connection remains dominant. Excellent. They're picking up right where they left off, and leaving no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Early in practice, Hurts hit Brown on a well-executed back shoulder throw with James Bradbury in coverage. And those are just so hard to stop, even if they're coming, because you have supreme execution like Devonta Adams and Aaron Rodgers used to have, just like psychic connection. Good throw, timed well, good route, good catch. I mean, like I said, it's just hard to, let you just make a beeline. You know exactly what it is before, it's even there. But you have to be in very, very good position as well. And I believe James Bradbury was, but, it's just, it's one of those things where, like, you're not going to be able to stop all those in your career, even as a, excellent corner. Darrelle Revis was susceptible to these as well. And he was, a future Hall of Famer. All right, later in practice, Hurts launched a deep ball to Brown, who hauled in the pass for a touchdown. The ball probably traveled around 60 to 65 yards in the air. Damn! Talk about FedEx, he's airing that package out. Also pause. Which was all the more impressive given that Jalen Carter was closing on him. And yeah, he might have hit him, or probably would have, been bearing down on his face at least, 1, 2, 3 steps. If this was a real live action, Quarterbacks don't get hit in camp, but in my opinion, the free rusher made the degree of difficulty a little higher. Yeah, of course. The ball found Brown on the other end of the hashes. Just excellent placement. Bradbury was in coverage once again, so it's not even as if they're beating slappies out there. So, yeah, man, I'm sure he was in good position, but them knowing that each other intricately, offense, naturally has the advantage. A guy going backwards, that's a challenge of playing corner. I believe it's the second hardest position behind quarterback to play in the league. And yeah, man, I'm not even saying they're not even, but given how good they are, I would say the offense is going to win majority out, 9 times, not 9 times out of 10, but majority of times. Hurts probably had his best day today in what has been already very good camp so far. We may as well get the elite player highlights out of the way first. Jason Kelce had an impressive block about 15 yards on the field on the screen play to Boston Scott. He cleared Terrell Edmonds, so just showing his athleticism out there. Out of the way for a big gain. If you're wondering if an old man Kelce still has the athleticism to make highlight reel blocks out in space, yes, he does. And yeah, he's 36 years old, still showing no signs of slowing down. Looking, just as surprised he was, several seasons ago, showing that he's still earned and rightfully so garnered that second team All-Pro. Speaking of Terrell Edmonds, the Eagles showed some 3 sets on defense today. Ooh, interesting. So Reed Blankenship and Kayvon Wallace were on the back end. I like to see Sidney Brown, but he's not up to speed right now. So they're going with Kevon Wallace, who has the edge over him by way of years and knowledge in the system. Not with the current system, but with the previous years. With Edmonds serving as a dime linebacker. So I like this as well, man. This is something I prognosticated because I'm like, he did it in Pittsburgh. Why wouldn't they, bring it here, import it, and it just makes sense. He's a heavier guy. Still, he's 6'1", 216, but runs a 4.47. And he could pass for an undersized linebacker. So he's about the same size as Nicholas Morrow and faster. So, I mean, that could say you can make the argument that could make Nicholas Morrow expendable as far as like being on the lower on the depth chart, being second string. With us having a pseudo linebacker his size and faster than him, but interchangeable. He can play maybe nickel, I don't know, but he can play sub packages and as quasi linebacker as well as his regular position of safety. So interesting little diatribe to go on there. Sidney Brown got some second team looks today after mostly playing with the third defense the first few days of camp. So as his performance and his verifiable knowledge goes, so will his playing time. So we'll see if he was able to learn and grasp things to be moving along, I guess, along the depth chart, playing more with the second team. Because I have the starters being Reed Blankenship and Terrell Edmonds, but 360 sets would give us some versatility. It's something that Sean Desai employed in Seattle, and I'd love to see him bring it here because it just adds more caveats and more weaponry for us to throw looks at the very least to throw at offenses. Blankenship continues to play exclusively with the one. So this is very telling. This shows me that they really want him to get that time in with the defense and get settled in, not come off the field. And they feel pretty confident in his position. I would say maybe he's more of a lock to start than Terrell Edmonds. To some degree, you could say that, even though Terrell Edmonds is an elder statesman in this backfield. But it speaks of his position being very solid, and then having a lot of trust in Blankenship. I don't know what role he's going to play. It's going to be rover, because I think in our defense is more fluid. There's no really free safety and strong safety. It's maybe like single high safety and then roving safety. And I see Terrell Edmonds fits that role more, but he can do everything as well. But I'm not as down on him as coverage as other people are. They're saying that he can just he's just mostly a hitter. But he picked off Aaron Rodgers, and that shows film study. And he's coming off the bench at that. So I believe that he can have an impact in coverage. He just has to take the right angles. Like, he didn't with Christian Watson. He learned from that TD, though. I don't think he repeated that kind of mistake later on in the season, even though he did get, burnt on some other coverages. And, his positioning and alignment had, some issues and kinks to work out. But I believe he's going to be a solid starting safety for us. And a great find out of Middle Tennessee State. Go Blue Raiders. I always say that. But great job of scouting department and Howie for drafting this young man. White chocolate, as they call him. Or chocolate. White chocolate, I think. Dallas Goedert has been involved in pretty much every practice. He caught a quick hitter down the seam for a nice gain, and he got open on an out route for a reception. Christian Ellis was in coverage on both plays, but really nobody has been able to cover Goedert so far. So, man, he's out just getting loose, man, being loose. And you want to say that, okay, well, I've heard him not being able to stop Dallas Goedert. I've heard Nakobe Dean not being able to stop him. Nor Morrow was getting cooked by not just Goddard, but multiple people. Getting cooked yesterday on the DeAndre Swift wheel route reception, and him committing the penalty the boot on said play. But yeah, Dallas Goedert's gonna cook everybody. I don't think there's a linebacker out there that can cover him. I'd love to see him on Nolan Smith actually, but I think that's it's the best matchup we have. Son Reddick might be able to do a decent job in bracket coverage, but we'll see. Same with the tight ends. Tyree Jackson was active today in a red zone session. He made a nice catch on a difficult ball from Ian Book, but couldn't keep his feet down, to get TD. Later, he ran a good slant route, and Tanner McKee hit in between the numbers with good timing. Marcus Mariota also found Jackson for a completion near the sideline, so good awareness there, making the catch, hauling in. I don't know, if he had a toe drag swag or, tiptoe or whatever. But, like I said, good work. If Jackson can play the rest of camp and the preseason games like he has played so far, he's going to make the team. So, good sign there for him. His arrow's pointing up. So, I think he'll still be a practice squad guy. I don't see us having space for him on this roster. But if he did, though, he'd be a verifiable red zone / surprise short down and distance weapon. Milton Williams had a nice day. I wouldn't call it a double team necessarily, but he beat two blockers, Sua Opeta and Brett Toth for a tackle for a loss on Mariota and a design run in the red zone. So, nice. He's flashing, and you haven't heard his name, but there's only so many guys that you can hear from, and like if guys are doing their job and you're still in position, they get the credit. I'm fine with that, as long as you know your name will show up if you consistently keep doing the right things, because everybody slips up sometime, and you're gonna have to cover for somebody. We got a little taste of running back versus linebacker pass protections 1-on-1s, and this was a little concerning. I'm not gonna lie. I would say that the highlight was in the Kobe Dean rep against DeAndre Swift. Dean barreled right through Swift with a physical rush. That's part of Dean's game, so that's a little concerning. But DeAndre Swift didn't have and he wasn't as bad as you would expect, especially hearing this in pass protection with the Lions last year. So he was decent. At very least, he was solid. At the best, he was solid. He had 6 sacks in his final season at Georgia, so he can be another caveat in his game. Not that we need more rushers, but just having the ability that Jonathan Gannon wouldn't dare bite on because he's like meow, gives you interesting options there. Just more avenues to throw at the offense to confuse and put them in kerfuffle. You like that word? I do. It will be interesting to see if Sean Desai dials up a few blitzes for Dean each game. I don't know about each game, but I would say, maybe one a game. Cool. But also Nolan Smith. Also put him at my linebacker and then maybe switching responsibilities. So there's so much you can do. Like I said, we'll get into articles maybe about Nolan Smith a little bit later in this offseason if we have time. We got some O-line, D-line, and 1-on-1s today too. Some highlights. Nolan Smith killed Chim Okafor on the outside rush. It's not like he dusted Lane Johnson or something, but it's still pretty cool to see that he is gifted. Clear to see he's a gifted athlete. Smith also got immediate pressure on the play during 11-on-11s, by the way. It was at the end of the field, so it was hard to see, but I assume he was unblocked. Even still, he got to the quarterback fast. And yeah, he runs a 4.39. He's going to make use of that speed. All right, Derek Barnett smoked Tyrese Robinson on the inside spin move. Milt Williams got underneath Suapeta and walked him back into the pocket. Good power rush, but excellent. Showing making good on that athleticism. I don't know if it was speed to power, but excellent work there. The first team O-line pretty much won all the matchups, Cam Jurgens included. So this was a very, very important note. It's kind of an addendum, not an addendum, an add-on. I don't know if that's what addendum means, but anyways, I know what it means. Yeah, anyways. But it's interesting here that he acquitted himself very nicely. He didn't need or have help, or he was able to stand alone. Or at least be the link on that chain, not be the weak link. So that's good to hear because we have some beasts on the line. We've heard so much, and this kind of throws douses a little water on the fire of Jalen Carter going down and killing it. Yeah, I know he's doing solid, but not saying they're holding back. But it's training camp, and we're not the enemy. So I believe he is doing solid, but then he's not out there ragdolling the first team and whatnot. He's doing a very good job though. And consider he's a rookie, that bodes well for the season. All right, the Bulls are hitting today. 2 highlights. Undrafted free agent cornerback Mekhi Garner drew first blood when he absolutely annihilated Charles Rambo, who was arguably a defensive receiver in the flat. Rambo's legs flew up in the air and he hit the ground hard. Damn. Anytime your legs are up like you're Reggie Bush getting hit by Sheldon Brown, it's bad, man. I remember that hit. He was crawling after that. It was terrible. I loved it though. Dan Arnold had a nice catch and run, which ended abruptly when he ran square into Kayvon Wallace, who dumped him to the turf. D-cleater. So Kayvon Wallace, the smaller linebacker. Smaller safety to Dan Arnold. I think he's like 240 or so, 230, 240. Nice to see there. Garner's hit is definitely not something the Eagles want to see in practice though. But Garner saw his chance to make a big hit and he took it. It's all fun and games when you hit Rambo like that. You won't be if it's Devonta Smith, yeah, because Devonta Smith definitely can't handle it, and I don't want to see him going out like that, going out bad. So Garner, he's a big guy, 6'2", 212. I think he's from LSU, and he's slow for a corner, and he hits. So, yeah, the Eagles are loaded at corner, put him at safety. I'd like to see him, be kind of like James Bradbury, so mold himself in that model. So Marcus Mariota had another shaky day. I think the quarterback position right now, yeah, it looks shaky. We'll see if Marcus Mariota can pull himself out of that, but coaches got to be behind the scenes trying to fix his tune him up, fix his mistakes and just highlight where he's messing up. So yeah, you can say that's one position that we're weak at. We'll see though. I hope that we never have to find out. His low light was an overthrow to Dan Arnold that landed softly in the arms of Kayvon Wallace, so easy pick for Kayvon. We noted a few times that so far that Brett Toth had a lot of bad snaps while trying to play center. had at least two more to the tally. It was disruptive enough that they team has to consider getting him out of there so he isn't messing up reps for the other players on offense. So that's bad, man. Yeah, I mean, the backup center maybe looking shaky. So we'll see, man. There's so many roster moves that can be had. Maybe we can bring in a backup, a quarterback as well. But I think we're gonna stick with Marcus and just see how it goes, because he's not slated to be a starter. But yeah, you don't want to have him pressing into playing. I think if we did, we just lean on the run game and give him very simple throws, give him a very simple game plan. Also go with some designed runs for him to get him into rhythm and stuff like that. All right, Janaris Robinson had a bad pass today. He had another one of those early in camp, long lanky dude. So I really would love to see him or Kyron Johnson, not Tyron Johnson, the other Johnson & Johnson lock down those pass rushing roles. But all three of those guys aren't going to make the roster. I think they're fighting for one spot. You want punter notes? Not really. So basically saying Ty Zettner beat out Siposs today, but it's not saying much because Donnie Jones used to have a hang time of like 5 seconds, sometimes having a 5.5. I mean, it's positive for me that Zettner bested him today. So let's get into a little bit more notes. All right, training camp notes. Jalen Hurts is on fire. So a couple more things. Hurts is on fire right now. After turning in a sharp practice on Sunday, he looked great again on Tuesday morning. The fourth-year quarterback accurately distributed the ball to different targets all over the field. So, yeah, he was hitting everybody. So, no surprise, the Hurts-A.J. Brown connection was lethal. Damn. So, a 60-yard touchdown like we talked about earlier. Hurts also hit Brown out to the left sideline and a curl route for a first down. Hurts threw a rope to Devonta Smith, who managed to get open deep on an extended play. He hit Smitty in stride again, just along the left sideline on 7-on-7s. And Hurts also had a really nice anticipation throw to Dallas Goedert that hit the tight end over the middle exactly as he came out of his break. Just showing his anticipation, his growth in his offense. At the risk of jinxing him, Hurts has yet to throw an interception in training camp. Nice to see him stacking strong outings like this. Stock up. So, going into training camp last year, he was more rushing it than more than extending those plays and then hitting guys on broken plays. And then he did it in the season, so he really the game slowed down for him. He really had a moment. He had growth and grew in season, as well as by the end of the camp he had developed enough to where he was seeing things. Now he's seeing things, and now maybe he can elevate to really being a pristine precision passing machine, making those anticipation throws in his sleep, hitting more of the intermediate routes. Dump offs, knowing when to fight for the day, get short yardage, and then use the tush push. So I mean, there's more intelligent, even more intelligent. I would say not even more intelligent, more high IQ football, even more so than he played last year. Because last year was a jump, now it's all about consistency, baby. All right, Eagles injury report: Hassan Reddick still out. Still limited. Devontae Maddox and Derek Barnett still limited. Devin Allen still on the NFI non-football injury list. Deion Kane is a new addition. Had an ankle injury, didn't practice. So, yeah. Let's see. Yeah. That's what we talked about earlier. All right, offensive line versus defensive line notes. Josh Sweat and Jordan Davis ran a stunt where Davis, who is huge and can take up space, opened up room for Sweat to get a sack. So nice. Making use of the big man and playing off those DT games. Yeah, man. And then using both their athleticism, because Jordan is going to come in hard and then Sweat using that speed to loop around. All we have is speed up front, man. Moving to more of a pure one-on-one action, Davis got totally stuffed by Landon Dickerson, so that makes sense. I mean, Landon's he can have a jump this year as well. And damn, he was very solid last year. Can he have a breakout year, man? I mean, it's just we're looking for everybody to elevate their game, and it's just scary on our already very good roster. We could have a great roster where a lot of players elevate into that category. Great. All right, Cam Jurgens held his own against Fletcher Cox and later staved off Marlon. I'm just gonna say I can't say his last name. Derek Barnett got pushed into the ground while trying to go around the edge of Jordan Mailata. So this is showing like opposed to them dominate the second team, what we heard about earlier. Cam Jurgens holding his own. They were not getting shoved by Jordan Mailata. Tyler Steen got handled by Jalen Carter, which just makes sense. He's further along in his development. Noah Smith absolutely dusted Chin Okafor. We talked about that. Kyron Johnson, only playing off the ball linebacker, beat Fred Johnson, and Patrick Johnson proved to be much for Trevor Reed. So Johnson, like I said earlier, getting it together. Milton Williams / Power. He got the best of Sewell Petta multiple times. That's second team. Dennis Kelly shut down Teron Jackson. So, I mean, that's good to hear from the lower ranks. But, not sound like moves on or something like that. So, the linebackers are here just dominating in one-on-ones and just concerning. Like I said, Christian Ellis beating Kennedy Brooks easily. But, they're on the same level of talent. Nicholas Morrow used to spin to get around Kenny Gainwell. Got to be more solid on that. DeAndre Swift didn't even look very interested in stopping Kobe Dean. Yeah, we can't have that. So they're probably getting chewed out as we speak in the film room. But we'll see how that goes. But she got to shore up that pass protection. Very vital for the backs to pass protect, especially with a running quarterback in this offense. Terrell Evans is back at first team safety. But yeah, we just three safety looks. But yeah, it's good to see him back, and I don't know what that says about him that we're getting hit over the top, whatever. Who's the responsibility? I would love to see which safety, but I think he's still gonna be a steady hand out there. Okay, Josh Joe put a pop on Dan Arnold. Damn. Yeah, so dude can hit like he did in the Giants game last year. Okay, so Mariota did bounce back from the pick he threw to Kayvon Wallace with a nice strike to Greg Ward for a first down. They drew some praise from Sirianni. And this is one thing. You can see, like early in the offseason with Quez Watkins, he's really going to stand for his players. So he's not going to get too down on guys, and he's going to really try to build them up. So like he did with him, he's doing the same with Mariota, praising him. Okay, Rashad Penny and DeAndre Swift were getting some work in special teams period. Okay, interesting. Okay, Penny took a stretch play and hit the hole hard. I mean, that's what he does, though. It's nice. Damn, Grady Williams getting too grabby. Damn. So I mean, I don't know. That just sounding kind of shaky. And Kobe Dean hasn't had a flash moment. Stop looking for the flash out. Like I said yesterday, looking for him to be consistent. That's cool. That's what I care about. But anyways, we're gonna stop here for today, man. Long ass video. I don't expect anybody to make it this far. I don't expect to even make it a couple minutes in, according to my algorithm, my analytics. Anyways, I've been talking too long. We're gonna get up out of here, but I know you're not even watching though. But it's all good, cause as always, it's Fly Eagles Fly, and let's motherfucking go. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Check me out at Centron Anime, Centron Life, or Centron Laughs, or other social media.